Hey,
We
we're
are
back.
here. Finally.
I know it's been, I just realized, I thought it was a couple weeks. It's really been more like a month.
Oh yeah.
And I take a lot of that responsibility because I
It's
was
okay.
out doing I was out doing my own thing. I was
Great.
enjoying life. We're going to get to some of I saw a lot of games. I went
Yeah,
to
you
a few
did.
cities and
Had a good time.
I had a great
Supposed to be.
time. I got some great friends that I got to see. I got some great games I got to witness. And so we'll talk about it throughout the show as we get into some things. But as usual, welcome to the show, Girl Chat Sports Mo and Mel, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Girl Chat Sports. Would
Please do.
appreciate it. We
Yep.
know it's the NBA playoffs right now. This round 2 has been crazy. As of right now, no home team has won yet in round
Right.
2, which is wild.
All the visiting teams have won.
Wild.
The only one I'm
Considering
giving a pass to is Cleveland, and I'll explain later why.
okay. But before we, and shout out to Natalie, her Knicks, because they
That's
just
Andre.
blew everybody away. So welcome back to the show. We've had a lot going on. We've missed a lot. We've seen a lot. There's been so much that's happened in the last month after I realized it was actually a whole month. So we apologize for that. But the WNBA draft came and went. The NFL draft came and went. We've already started playoffs for the hockey, for basketball. We're in round 2 of both now. So it's just we're back and we're making some amends here. We're making some amends. But the Met Gala was
Yeah.
wow.
What it was, super fine. Super fine and dandy.
Super
It's
fine
actually
and
one of the best
dandy.
I've seen in a long time.
I don't know about you and some of your favorite looks. I know because you're my fashionista girl. I personally, there was a couple that I loved, and one of them was Tiana. I really loved. I don't know what it was. I think it was the coloring. It was pinstripes. It was the cane. I thought anybody that had a cane that came through there, I just loved whatever they were wearing for some reason. But I loved her fit. I loved Coco Jones. Coco Jones came through there, and I don't know, something about that. There was just some great outfits. Is there anyone in particular that comes off the top of your head that you were like, yeah,
Blown away? Tiana Taylor for one was of hers, but if it comes to the athletes, I think Justin Jefferson, they undersold him. His was fantastic. It was just a great look to the theme
and
and
I
dress
didn't
code
even get
what
a
it
picture
was.
of his, unfortunately. I know there were some.
His was very unmentionable. Like they didn't mention it, and they did a huge disservice not mentioning it. But if you go on
Mhm.
his page and see what he's done, or go on to GQ Sports
Yeah,
on Instagram because I follow that as well. All the men's fashion. I'm very proponent of men's tailored styling and men's
yes,
suiting. So to see that come to fruition for his first Met Gala, oh, he busted the door wide open with that. I
he
also
did
was a
the
fan of
thing.
Jeff Goldblum's look. His look was great. I was a fan of Russell and Sierra's look. That blew my mind. I loved his
They
homage of
look
kissing her
great.
hand. Give it to
Yes,
that Black Queen. Jalen and his wife on their first Met thing. I think they could have brought a little bit more energy, but I like that. First Met Gala. We see what
right. It was your
you'll get
first
into it, but
one.
it was a nice look. It wasn't that it was bad. Wasn't a
Right. And
nice look
well, and
at
this
all.
was the first time that Sierra has gone with Russ because usually Russell's in camp or doing whatever, but he's in New York now.
And so
So
this is, but that was just a great look for them. It was so regal and so just
it
classy and
was.
so on the money. And Dochi's outfit was great. Zendaya brought it with the homage to Lady Sings the Blues, Diana Ross. Also, let me pay homage to Mick Jagger's ex because that's also a look transcending into her. But I also noticed she loses points because everyone else there was two other people that had that same type of style. So
Okay.
it wasn't original because there was two other people that was like, "Hey, you got my look. Hey, you got my look." It was like a three-way Spider-Man situation. So that was
Yeah, that
unfortunate,
was
but
wild. I couldn't believe that no one, I
yeah, I mean, a white
mean,
suiting is hard. You can't. A white suit is tough because the thing of it is you're either gonna go real extravagant with it, add a train to it. I probably would have done a top hat, train, veil. I probably would have made it bridal kind of looking esque, but that's just
right.
me. I don't know. But I did like what everyone brought to the table. I did like what Angel Reese
Savannah,
had on for her second
Yes. Angel looked
appearance.
good. I thought Savannah really came
Yeah,
through with
Savannah
that.
looked good too. I thought that matched her skin
And
tone
she
really well and her
found that designer on, like, it was like someone tweeted like, help me put myself at the Met, and it was like in February 2025, and that was the designer that did this.
Oh, okay.
It
Well,
was
that was good.
crazy.
That was a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all of it. It just reminded me of a lot of Harlem Renaissance, Rolling 20s. I love that kind of style. I like that style, period. Kind of reminded me of just a historical connotation of blacks in Harlem and blacks as a society when we had our own communities and how we were dressing in those tailored styles and how we looked upon
Yeah.
ourselves.
Diana
So it
came
was great.
through.
Yeah,
It
that was
was
an
great.
iconic moment for her. Angela Bassett's look was cool. I mean, it was all a good look. I mean, this is the Met Gala that out of 77 years of having this that raised the most money. So
Right.
obviously it was a huge success. Obviously it is very indicative that we are the ones that tailor people's style. We are the ones that give you guys a lot of culturalism to your looks. Your looks are not just something that's original. It is inspired by somebody that looks like me to get your affect off. So that is very indicative to what Met showed me and educated me on. And it's just apparent. Like, come on. Can't nobody
It
do it
was
better than us. Can't
no.
nobody do it better than us.
It was
It's a gift. We
magnificent.
loved it.
It was
And it was
magnificent.
magnificent. It was totally magnificent.
It was. Um, we got to talk about Asia.
You were
So was
there.
Vegas?
Tell me
Did
about it.
Vegas do the rapping here? Did you guys do
No,
this
no.
rapping
I don't
job?
know
Oh,
anything
okay.
about that. I have no
Uh,
idea. I don't know anything
well,
about that.
the rapping job that she came out with was astonishing, and then of course you could kind of see a little bit of a kiss goodbye. Excuse me, because you knew Bam was in the car with her. But the whole team, except for like 2 players, showed up in their A1s. Of course, Bam was there. Dawn came in the blues, which I guess now are called the Indigo. I thought it was Blue for Fury the whole time.
So it's indica. And I like the hoodie.
The hoodie, of course. Mark had the pearls on. Mark came with the pearls because he always wears white, so he got him a pair of pearls. But the A1 sold out online in 5 minutes.
I knew it would.
I mean, hello.
I
There's
knew it
going to
would.
be more out. I believe Nike, Dick's, and I think there's a Foot Locker as well. Supposedly we'll have them on Thursday. You've also got the other colorways, the blue or the indigo girl. This will drop on the 15th. I think the pearl drops sometime shortly after that. So you've got options. You've got options. I think the gear is still on Nike. I know I got me some pink slides because I knew for sure the slides I'm hitting with. That's my jam. So they're everywhere. But the game was ridiculous. It was good to see everybody back at the house. Let's start there. There are some new things. When you enter, you no longer are doing security check, then scan tickets. You're now scanning tickets.
Then
And the security check isn't just the big metal ones. Like, it's just the ones that you just walk through, and if they see something through a thing, then they call you back to go through the second scanner. But
wait a
it
minute, you
seemed
gotta put
pretty.
your thing on a conveyor, or they just see something?
No, you just walk through these, like, it's like, I think it's clear. I think they're by
Oh,
clear.
okay.
You just walk through these little things, like two little posts. You just walk through these posts, and if you get flagged, you have to come back and go through the actual scanner. But if not, you're good, and then you're in. And I think there were some fans that were in line that didn't realize they needed their tickets up first, because they're like, oh, wait, and so that kind of slowed a little bit. But it was a lot smoother process. Granted, there wasn't I don't think it was a sold out game, so it wasn't as packed.
Yeah,
but it was great.
Because my family wasn't there. There was, we're watching Golden State right now.
I looked for them, but they had
we're watching Golden State right now. You know how that is.
little A1 towels.
Oh, cool! I like those. That's nice.
Yes, and then of course, I got you one of the A1 shirts.
They're actually, and
they are Nike.
Yeah.
They are Nike shirts. So and they actually, unlike some giveaways, they had multiple sizes. So there was like medium, large, extra large, which was dope.
That's dope.
And then these posters are nice.
Yeah. Poster that I need her to sign one day.
I know that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, overall was good. We only saw the starters for probably like the first half. They didn't really seem to click too well. It was kind of surprising. We were down by 10 points in that first half. Yeah. We're down by 10 points into the third. So they left, and then we saw like the second.
Playing again? Who were we playing so the audience knows who our
opponents? Mercury. We were playing the Phoenix Mercury. So AT. It's really hard seeing AT as a Mercury.
Right.
It's just, you're used to seeing her as a Sun. So you saw her, I mean, they have a whole new squad there. There's no more Diana Taurasi in Phoenix. There's no more Sophie in Phoenix. No more Griner. So it's a whole new, and they were doing well. It was a close game for majority of the, and then you got our second and third benches in. You had the rookies that were playing. Deja Kelly, can we just Deja Kelly, undrafted from Oregon, right? She got 15 points in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
15 points in the fourth quarter. This is just
I hope they use her. That's my only question on that. I hope they use her. Like, we got all the people that we're seeing in preseason, and then we only see starting 5 players. So
we still got injuries. Dana Evans is injured. We've got a pregnancy. We've got Megan is injured. So we'll see. But she had 15 points. Here's her last shot that won it.
They got it. Brown's not out there now. Kelly got the look. The clock down to 3.8. The Mercury. No timeout. Oh. And that will do it. Oh, at the last second.
Yeah, they won by 1 point. So that was a clutch moment for her.
Clutch point. And she had, like I said, she had 15 all by herself in the fourth.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to show was this was the pop-up that was, usually when there's like a inflatable chair that people can sit on or whatever at the entranceway there. This is what the entrance was.
I know that line was long.
Why do you think I'm taking a video from?
I mean, okay, so
but it was cool.
It's just a pop-up for that game. There's no pop-up shops gonna come for that, or how's it?
I'm assuming this is just it was a Nike and A1 event. I don't think it's gonna be staying there. I feel like those items I saw on my Nike app, there's a whole month-long A1 pop-up out in New York. Okay. So I don't know if this whole thing moves out there. I feel like this is some of the stuff that was originally like at the South Carolina game when she first did her pop-up. I feel like a lot of this background stuff was there. So who knows? But I don't think it stays
going to New York for the rest of the time. I can't stay in Vegas. That's crazy.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. New York has some big, it's in your Nike app. You can go look into it. You can sign up for it and go there, but it's like a month long. It's like from the beginning, it's like May 8th until like June something, June 3rd. Okay. Yeah. So maybe because Vegas starts in New York for the season opener next Friday. Maybe there's some relation there. I'm not sure, but yeah, wild. It was good times though. It was really good times.
It was so funny because when you said I have media, I'm going to the game. I wasn't even thinking about the preseason game. I thought you were talking about the Knights game. I thought you literally was talking about going to the Knights game. I did not.
I was watching and keeping up.
Told me that you got a poster and a tee for me, and I'm like, wait a minute, did she not go to the Knights game? It was last night. Didn't realize
they were giving out t-shirts. Yeah, so it was preseason, but I think that's what made it a big deal is because it was the A1 night. It was the night of her drop, the night of her shoe drop, and all that other stuff. So we also,
great night to be there. That was a perfect night to be there. I wish we had, I don't think anybody in my family realized that was going on.
Yeah, I know. And shout out to Natalie again, because I got her a poster as well. So, but she didn't know. And I don't think people realize. I mean, it's still preseason, yes. So not many people are realizing what's happening, but it was out there. It was on socials and whatnot, or whoever. But
I didn't see that. I'm mad.
Yeah, and
I'm not on Facebook anymore. Maybe Facebook had a big thing on it, and I'm not on there, so I didn't know. But
it was on the Aces social media. I don't
know. I didn't see it. I missed
we got to give props also to Malia Obama, who, Asia's got 2 big commercials out right now.
Right.
There's the one that's not with Asia in it, just everybody else in there. So here's a clip of that one real quick.
Asia Wilson's on top. Can't take her spot. She's a real one, true. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history. From the mid, it's a rap. All records, no cap.
Yeah, that one's dope. I like that one.
So that one's dope. But Malia Obama, she directed this one. Which
So let's go through this one more time.
All right.
Okay.
Agent Wilson's on top. Can't take her spot. She's a real one through.
Okay. Sorry.
Girl, let me show you how a professional does.
Okay, bro. Go ahead, bro.
So, Agent Wilson's on top. Can't take her spot. She's a real one through. Always does what she'll do. She won MVP. 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history. And if you talk smack, she's gonna clap back.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. That one's
It's
super
cute.
dope. Yeah,
My
I
one
thought
gripe with the A1 gear, though, that pink hoodie the girl has on, they don't make it in adult sizes. It's just for kids, and I want that. I want that pink
they have
hoodie.
a pink hoodie with the satin lining, so that's
It's
a
the
different
satin
one?
line. But this is a different one. This one's for youth, but the satin one doesn't have the A1 like logo on it. It's just a pink with the satin. I think it has like something small up here for adults. And it's
Gotcha.
more of a crop for the women.
Well, you better
But
try
the
and
one
get you the biggest girl size you can, honey, and try to make that thing work.
I don't think I fit in a big girl size no more.
I don't know.
Listen, I might be able to get the big girl size for shoes. Get me a U7, but there's not no 14, 16 going on here. Just saying, like that's.
I don't know.
So
maybe stretchy
yeah.
material, maybe stretch out. Maybe you could do something. I don't know. I just like the satin lining. My only thing is the satin. I'm just trying to protect hairs here, so I'm just thinking.
Yo,
like,
that's
I
great.
Need that in life.
Yeah, I like that hoodie too. But yeah, I got me some slides. Though the slides are on the way, so we'll see how the rest of that plays out. But good for the Aces.
Great for Asia. I mean, this is a highlighting of her. She's actually just thriving in her career right now, and I think this is just the time and.
She's living it. She's living it. She's doing it.
Sure. She's living. Yeah. She's looking better too. Absolutely. Her style is much, much better. She's got some money now. So I'm loving that.
Money. She got money.
She got that at Bentley Bentayga. I was like, okay, I like that look. That's a little dandy too.
I was like, okay. Yeah. Gave a little kiss to her friend from the Olympic team from out of town. And
yeah.
So
that was cool.
But the Aces, if you watch the game, if anybody was at the game or watched the game, you kind of saw maybe what they were leading towards cutting. They announced today that they did cut Queen Egbo and as well as Harmony.
Yeah.
And I know it's like we don't give Queen enough time. I feel like she has the ability. It's just,
Yeah, I was kind of saddened to read that today when I saw that.
Yeah.
That they cut her because she didn't get a chance to me, in my opinion.
No, and I feel like she's talented. I feel like we've seen great stuff from overseas. I feel like she has potential. I think she dunked at one of our practices. Like, I mean, if we're trying to sell tickets, dunking is not a bad thing to be able to display during a game. But neither here nor there.
It's honestly a necessary thing to get more participation and viewership because that was one of the gripes that.
And I know.
Dunk. So now we have somebody that can possibly dunk, and
now we don't. The Harmony thing, I know people really wanted her. This is like the genius girl from Harvard. But when I saw her play last night, she didn't really, even though I know it's preseason, I know she's just new, but she didn't really have the confidence. Like Deja Kelly, Aaliyah Nye, they both had this confidence on the court. Harmony didn't seem to really have that same type of confidence. Hopefully she can get picked up elsewhere. But like we've been seeing, there's a lot of players in the league that got drafted that are getting cut.
And again, so.
And the league's just not big enough yet. The rosters, they're trying to, it'd be nice if they could do like a 13 or a 14 person roster, but what does that do with salary cap and everything else? So it's sad that these kind of players are having.
You're next for an expansion. Let's go. You're on the radar.
Well, there's I think there's 3 more coming out, right? We got the new one this year, Valkyrie.
Well, we got Valkyrie, but we also had Toronto announced, and then I don't know any other cities that said they were thinking about. I know there's a couple cities that are thinking about it, but they haven't pulled the trigger. So
Toronto, and I thought there was one more listed.
If anybody in the chat knows, let us know because all I knew was the Toronto one, and I knew that they were like other athletes, professional athletes, were wanting to do a WNBA, desired to have it, but I don't know where that's going.
I know.
And I can't be mad at Flage and all these other people that want to stay in and have NIL deals and ride out their tenure in college and do the 4 years before going over because
Or
A
some
lot
of
of
these grad
players
students,
get
they're playing
waived.
5. Like, here's the deal. We
Listen.
get that your NIL can also become endorsement and sponsorship later on, but depending on your market, depending on your lifeline in that market, depending on your popularity in that city, you may not get that same kind of money. Unless it is a Nike deal or something that's can be done nationwide or worldwide. I mean, the
Yeah.
money's
I
out
mean,
there,
but my
but
thing is, you can't even if these girls say they didn't decided to stay in school, didn't go get drafted, that would have been a better opportunity for them to do so if they didn't have the chance of getting waived.
thank you, Natalie. Portland.
Portland, yes, okay, that's it.
Okay. All right.
They have a chance of not getting waived, like
I know.
because the next season you're looking now again at some of the ones that are tenured in this league about retiring. So it might come into the retirement phase towards the end of the season of some folks to open up spots.
We'll see. Hopefully, the expanded league. Hopefully, there'll be even more teams that can come on. Hopefully, there's revenue generated. Hopefully, all this can happen so that this can take fruition. But so Ace's home opener is May 23rd. It's a Friday.
Yep.
They start their season next Friday in New York against the Liberty. Have a couple away games again, but the home opener here.
I think we played the Mystics on the home opener, right?
I believe so. Let me do a little check.
Which I won't be here for that game. That's Memorial Day weekend. I'm gone, but
it is Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, it's
none of us will be here. Well, my family and I, we will not be here for that game. So
yeah, yeah, they play the Mystics.
We'll catch the next one on the 31st. I think they have another home game.
Yeah, I mean they have plenty
of
games.
few of them. Yeah, but I just wished I could be there for season opener to see that. That would have been cool to see what's going on.
Other WNBA news, though, apparently Skylar Diggins dropped Smith. Apparently her and her husband, I think it's somebody filed for divorce or separated or they got divorced. She is no longer Skylar Diggins Smith. She is back to just Skylar Diggins. And maybe we'll get the Skylar Diggins from old that starts back out here. I don't know. Storm looking good, but they had a lot of injuries that are out for the season. So we'll see how that goes. Katie Lou Samuelson, Nika Moole, Jordan Houston, all of them were gone. But let me just show you the girl from France, Dominique, who they drafted. She literally landed She dunked. She literally landed from France on Sunday. She didn't play in their first preseason game. She landed in France on Sunday. Monday, she was at practice. And on Monday at practice, she went sightseeing and then did the dunk in practice. Breakaway, let some things happen. I'm all for it. Like, come on. Let's get her done. It was also interesting. It was great to see, Alicia Clark is back in Seattle. The crowd was loving her back. She played a good chunk of her career there. So, hey, back at what she said home. So it was nice to see that with her. Yeah. I'm excited for her. Yeah. Here's crazy. The Valkyries have an all-female in-arena entertainment. They have a female MC, a female PA announcer, and 2 female DJs.
Hey, now I'm loving that.
I mean, that's girl power. And not to mention, they are hiring a mascot. This will be the first ever mascot for the Valkyries, of course. It's $130 to $160 an hour.
I wonder what type of mascot would associate with the Valkyrie.
Is it like a Viking or?
That's what I'm curious about. That's why I'm like, what? I wonder what kind of mascot associates with that. But the pay ain't bad. That's a good little chunk of change for a couple hours.
That's good. And plus, if you got to be doing pop-ups, like we know how Buckets comes with a lot of things in the community. Like, is that still $130 to $160 an hour?
I mean, I don't know what Bucket's salary is. I'm not going to speculate what they make. I feel like
no, but I mean, like he had, how
mascot.
a lot of the mascots are in the community doing meeting with the kids.
Yeah,
and doing,
I get that. I feel like Ellie's probably the highest paid mascot. This $130. I'm glad that they, disclose what that pay is, but I wonder what Ellie and all of them make. I feel
like Ellie just got more. Ellie got sponsorship. She's like on Farmers.
Ellie got NILs. Ellie got NILs, honey.
Ellie's
Ellie
doing
got
the big
NILs,
thing.
and she got a whole bunch of stuff, but she's getting paid. She's getting a paycheck.
She's getting paid. Ellie got money.
Yeah.
The Seattle Storm and the Atlanta Dream announced they will be playing a game in Vancouver. So possibly Vancouver. Maybe they're looking to get a team, but they're playing in Vancouver in August.
Okay. That's a
So
good
you can
eye.
start getting. I know that is pretty
So you
good.
have Toronto and Canada, and then you may have a Vancouver team. Okay, we'll see.
Yep. And then you've got Sue Bird, who is now named to become the managing director for the USA Women's National Team. It's kind of like a role for, I guess they call it the Grant Hill role. So it's a person with like crazy credentials as a player at every level who is responsible for basically selecting both the player rosters and the coaching staff for both the Olympic team and the World Cup team.
Okay.
You know, she couldn't stay from basketball too long.
I mean, they all have to do something. They can't just
Yeah.
sit idly. She's pretty young. I mean, I would probably be
Yeah.
bored after a while. So
No,
that's good for
absolutely.
her. That's great.
It is. It is. It
I
is.
mean,
It is.
podcasts can't do it all. I mean, and then watching, you have your little show when the WNBA season starts. I mean, it's always
Yeah, but
good to add more and keep yourself busy.
that's not
and
enough.
stimulated.
I'm sure she's got to be able to do.
Yeah. So good. Good for her. It's great.
Oh man. Shout out to people that are watching on Instagram. We've had a couple
Yeah.
people. Yeah. So people are asking why Stokes is still with the Aces.
Well, that's a number $1 million question that we all have. And
I think the bigger question is KB. Like Kia, you still need someone tall. KB, listen, she did not do well last game. I mean, she had like an assist and a point, but
that's because they weren't keeping her active in the regular season. She can go too. And the thing of it is, it's unfortunate, but they need to Megan Gustafson being out. Like I'm saying, we had options. We had a chance to go after a big, and we didn't. So this is what we got.
Jabari was in the chat. He said that Dominique can also drop step dunk too. So she is able to. That's firepower.
France is winning.
She's like 7 foot. So I would hope.
France is winning right now. They're winning with the athletes.
France is.
France is what it is. Setting the tone, all from the guys of Tony Parker paving the way and getting everybody activated in this league. So
man,
cool. Got Wemby and you got her now, so they're both gonna be phenoms. I love it.
They're gonna be killing it.
Yeah, it's gonna be phenoms. I love it.
I know. I think that was all I had for. So we can go moving into NBA. Okay, we got the game on right now. It looks like Denver.
OKC's up, right?
Yeah, they're up by 28 points.
Okay. Hopefully they keep that going.
Still got 5 minutes left in the second. Maybe hopefully they get a. I mean, here's the deal. They still stole our Sonic, so I can never be okay with them winning. I'm not a fan or a hater.
I mean, you need to let that go because OKC is on fire, and I would.
But if they lost, I ain't mad. If they lost, I'm not mad at them. Like let the curse continue.
No curses. They're destined for greatness. These boys deserve it. This has been a fascinating, and we're not even talking about round 2. We're going to go back and talk about round 1 because we didn't even get a chance to talk in the round 1s.
No,
okay.
Round 1.
So round 1, even with OKC, I mean, they were just phenomenal. Round 1, even with New York, phenomenal. I expected Detroit to take that. I wanted Detroit against that New York team. Don't hate me, Natalie, but I thought Detroit was better. I thought Isaiah Stewart. I thought they got a foul. I thought they got cheated out of that series. But to see what New York is doing right now for round 2, they are well deserved to be there. I will say that. But that was a fantastic series. To see Golden State, a number 7 team, take out Houston Rockets, a number 2 team with Ime Udoka as a coach, was phenomenal.
In game 7 in Houston.
Jimmy is real. In Houston. In a 7-game series. Playoff Jimmy is real. He is all the way real. Buddy Hield, seeing him better in the second round is fantastic.
When I saw a clip of him, I had no idea his voice was like that. I expected a different voice to come out of his mouth.
He's Bahama Buddy. He's from the Bahamas. So he's Bahama Buddy. But Bahama Buddy is bringing it. Like he's stepping up, and I appreciate that, And for them to come
and
back
him and Jimmy are tight. They're like little two peas in a pod. The way they be having their little press conferences cracking me up. Like,
yeah, well, that was the first time they had to do that because Steph did a hammy. It's been Batman and Robin with Jimmy and Steph. But he pulled a hammy. He didn't play that second half of the game, and Buddy stepped up. Buddy did his thing.
And he's going to be out for a whole another week, possibly, too.
Oh, my God. Grade 1. Oh, man. So that's the thing. So in order for them to keep this momentum going, all the players need to step up, and Steve Kerr needs to use his bench. Now, back to week 1. You were in Minnesota. You got to see my original Lakers, who were originally from Minnesota, play
I
against these
was.
Timberwolves. Tell me about that experience, and what were the Lakers looking like? Because they're bums in my book at this point. I'm very
Listen, the Lakers, first of all, Luca looked like he was in like some altered universe. Like someone had sucked, like, one of the cartoons came and there's an alien over him and just sucked his soul from his body because he was lifeless.
He
He
couldn't
was
even guard
not
a
Luca.
chair at that point.
He looked bad. LeBron wasn't great. And it was Minnesota is a great basketball. I mean, they're a great sports town. Let's just start there.
Right.
But the arena was on fire. We had a great time. I got a couple clips. Let me see if I have a clip in here. I do. For Minnesota. This was just one.
Look at that.
Buried him.
Look at that. So I think the audience and everyone out in the world needs to owe Nico and probably Dallas an apology, the ownership, because they knew something about Luka that we didn't know, and we're now finding out and seeing what it is.
He's not
the
playoff
man is
Luka.
not in shape.
That's what that
He's
is.
not guarding anything. He needs to get better. Or at 26 years old, there's no excuse for this. No excuse whatsoever. And for them to be taken out after 5 games is absolutely absurd.
5 games, which is wild.
And just for us to get to Minnesota and it just was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for the Lakers. It really was. I mean, for LeBron to come out and disclose, well, I had an MCL tear that I didn't realize I had.
Sure you did. And then okay.
Just
I love how people never talk about their injuries when they win. They only talk about their injuries when they lose. Oh, I was injured.
I don't want to hear the excuses. Okay. The flopping did not work in Minnesota. The refs were not buying it, LeBron, when you flopped. I mean, none of this was working for us.
None.
JJ Redick is definitely in question. I don't need your starting 5 to be playing all over 40 minutes. And you don't put Dalton Connect in. And you don't put any of the reserves in. And I just have questions as to why this happened. So it was bad. It was bad. It was a bad series. I mean, I thought it would be a little more exciting. I thought, Lakers being a number 3 seeded team in the West, I thought they would just bring more. And they did.
I mean, shout out to Jaden McDaniels, the Husky. He played off the chain on, I think it was game 2 or game 3. He was ridiculous. He was amazing. Just their squad is good. Unfortunately, here's the deal. My girlfriend, shout out to my girl Tasha, that's one who has season tickets there, went on a whim to get out there and enjoy the fun of Minnesota. Also got to see the VGK game there against the Wild, game 4, which was amazing. But she has these white boots, and she says the white boots that she's worn are now 20. They were 28-0 at game 4 when we won, because she wore them the game 3 and game 4. So come to yesterday, right? It's game 1. I was like, Tasha, you got the boots on, because I know she's going to the game. She didn't have them on. She said she had a different playoff shoe. And I was like, you can't do that, Tosh. You can't not wear the white boots. She goes, no. These are special playoff shoes. I said, all right. And what happens?
Minnesota lost. Rightfully so, though.
I said, if you don't put those white boots back on.
Listen, let me tell you something. They are no match for Golden State.
It's tough.
I see Golden State either on a gentleman's sweep. Well, if you're saying Steph's out for a week, that's tough. But we don't know.
Tighter.
At this point, they have a chance now. They definitely have a chance. But Golden State is on a whole different level right now that I haven't seen in a long time. And while Jimmy Butler's still healthy and whole out there, and while they got Moses Moody out there, and while they got they can put Kuminga if they want to, while they got GP2 out there, while they got Buddy Hield out there, they're balling. Now, we are seeing in this alternative universe of the NBA playoffs a totally different Rudy Gobert. He's defensive now. I think it's because his coach told him off.
One game crazy. He was going on.
He's going crazy in his defensive skills. I think it's one that's an eye-opener and an awakening for him. So I do plan that this series will be good, but first rounds of this playoffs all in its entirety was just awesome. Awesome to watch. Good.
It was real, and the second round has left no crumbs. I mean,
Yeah, that's no problem.
between
But even with Indiana Pacers and losing and beating the Bucks like that, and to have Halliburton's dad and the drama
yeah.
with all of that, it just was a great,
And
exciting.
isn't he banned from coming to the
He's
games
banned from
now?
every game now for Indiana. I mean, that's his own stupid fault. You don't taunt Giannis Antetokounmpo with a poster of your son.
I mean,
You know good and well. First of all, Giannis can take you.
he a proud daddy.
Secondly,
I mean,
why would you even antagonize the man off of them losing that game like that? Just very,
poor
very
bad sportsmanship. It's not
unsportsmanlike,
good.
you
Yeah,
know?
very, very
And you're a
unsportsmanlike.
father. You're a father. So set an example for your son.
This is the playoff that we're looking at now. Of course, there was the Knicks are now 2-0. But you
Good
see
example of that.
Pacers are up. You've got the Nuggets and OKC playing now, which could very well be a tie after this because they're currently up now 33 points with 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
They don't need to be coming into the Mile High City to be down 2. They really don't. And
They should not
for
be.
the Indiana Pacers, had Darius Garland been in both of those games, this would not be what we're seeing. And that's why I give Cleveland a little bit of a pass because there's no Darius Garland right now. He's out with his toe. They project him coming back on Friday. Hopefully he does. I thought he was going to come back on game 2. He wasn't in game 2. This is what happens when you don't have one of your best leading shooters in playoffs right now playing in these games. It's clear. And even still with no Darius Garland, that's still close matchup. So I side-eye Indiana a little bit. I'm not saying that they're not worthy, but I'm just saying Darius Garland makes the game a whole different type of situation.
It's a whole thing.
And that's what and it's 2 players. It's Darius Garland and one other player from Cleveland that's out. So I'm not dismissing Indiana as the truth right now because they don't have the best. They're not going up against one of the best shooters in the league right now with Darius Garland not being in. So,
but I mean, it's whatever is in the weather right now for the playoffs. I mean, we just saw the Celtics get tossed up by 20 2 games in a row and lose in the last couple seconds of 2 games now with the Knicks.
And they ought to be ashamed of themselves, but I'm happy as a Laker fan to go fishing with us too.
But you would think no one's really injured in that series. No one,
they're the reigning champions. Did they not win the championship last season?
Hello.
So, I mean, nobody's played. I mean, no one has changed up in their positions. No, there's no new additives. There's no new subtractions. This is Boston.
It's wild.
What's going on?
Like I said, but that's what I'm saying. We won't. I mean, I feel like there's going to be a couple of things thrown at us that we didn't think were going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's an anomaly. We haven't seen this in a long time. It hasn't been for a very long.
We haven't seen it.
Visiting teams winning in the home territory.
We do need to just say goodbye to Coach Pop, though.
Yes,
he stepped down finally, and I gotta show the video because it was just you really got to see the health that he's been in recently.
Yeah,
you can tell this is really what was best for him.
Absolutely.
To be there with Tim Duncan and Manu next to him with a bunch of current and former players during this the presser for the new coach.
Right.
It was just, but he is now officially El Jefe.
I'm no longer a coach. I'm El Jefe.
All right, El Jefe.
El Jefe.
Senior
Popovich.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. I mean, his track record exceeds any other.
His coaching tree. I mean,
it's just ridiculous of players that he's brought up and brought out, coaches he's brought up and brought out. Like shout out to Becky Hammond. I mean, she's one of the most winningest coaches for WNBA at this time because of learning under the guise of Greg Popovich. He has a great effect. El Jefe is that guy. My question is who is going to be the next coach? Now, is that
they already announced that. They already announced it. Yeah, it's what's his name? Something Johnson, Mitch Johnson, or
was he there?
And I feel like he's from Seattle too.
He's their interim that their name? Was he the interim?
The interim was named head coach.
So the interim was named head coach. Okay.
Mitch Johnson, yes.
Mitch Johnson. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think they named him. I was curious about that. I was like,
no, that was what that presser was for. That he came out
with
was to give like the whole official, official nod to him. So
excellent. So he will be president of basketball operations, like you said, working alongside of Tim.
He'll basically, I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
how much work he's able to do right now or whatnot, but it sounds like he'll have some kind of some hand in the pot there.
Oh, absolutely. His mind
Yeah.
is very sharp and clear, and that basketball
Oh, for
IQ is just
sure.
next level. So I think he'll be an excellent contributor that way to the organization for sure.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. um, what else is like? Oh, so the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs are going on.
Yes.
That's intense too. Our Golden Knights. So round 2 has officially started. Our Golden Knights played yesterday, game 1
Right.
against the Oilers.
Yeah.
Mark Stone, quick 2 goals in the first period. Like, bam. Oh, so we're up 2-0. So I stopped watching for a little while.
Right. Me too.
Well,
I checked the score. Then I looked.
then they lost 4-2.
Yeah.
Game 2 is tomorrow against the Oilers. This is going to be a tough series. Huh?
It's home
Yeah,
game.
home game again, game 2, and then we're off to Edmonton. So I just hope these guys bring it. I hope Aiden Hill's on his game, and I hope these things win. But I also, it was great. I mean, I got to see one of the I saw game 5 here with Sarah. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to B Sal in the background. We caught him doing his little, his news for Channel 3. Shout out to Tasha and her friends that got us tickets. We were 5 rows back in Minnesota at the Wild game. And not to mention the Wild's arena is not, it's very, I don't know if it's just a Minnesota thing, but I felt like I was walking into an old rec center. It felt very late 80s, early 90s. The women's bathroom, there's only like 2 or 3 of them. And I have never, at a Golden Knights game, I've never waited in a line really. I don't care if it's intermission at the beginning or what. There's so many bathrooms. They're so large.
New franchise and arena, old franchise.
This one, This one, it was like you're waiting in line. You're waiting in line for minutes there. But it was good. We had a good time.
I mean, and that was Fleury's last career game. So shout out to you getting to see Fleury, one of our VGKs.
Listen,
play his last game.
And look at this so he actually got to play when he was here for game 5 for the Wild. They put him in, and the boys still got it. Look at this movement.
Wow.
I mean, but what's crazy is that he retired. The Wild are out of it; they're done. But he went and signed with Canada's World Championship team, and we joined them for the World Championship.
So he ain't done. He ain't done.
He said, "I went home and the kids were crazy, so I said I gotta keep playing."
Yeah,
I'm telling you, athletes can't just retire. You can't just retire. Like there's no giving it up. Yeah.
He's like, I gotta do something. The kids are driving me crazy.
Speaking of also hockey, Utah finally has a name, the Utah Mammoth Hockey Club. I like it. I like the logos. Their hashtag I think is probably gonna be like tusks up, because it's the mammoth tusks.
Right.
But there's what their colors and logos will look like.
Yeah, that looks nice. Look good.
Somebody had tweeted that. Somebody tweeted this earlier saying, looking forward to the battle of the extinct white ice age era creatures with long, sharp, angrily facing right.
Yeah.
So yeah, when the mammoth go against the predators, that's pretty funny. But yeah, so that's good little hockey. I
remember they were voting on that, and I know Mammoth was one of the options, and then it was a Utah Hockey Club and all that kind of stuff.
They just couldn't get their life together, really.
Yeah, Mammoth works. Let's just roll.
I know, and not much in the NFL news, but 2027's draft will be held at the National Mall in DC. I love it. I don't like the timing of it. I wish there was a different.
Well, no one knew. You bid out for these cities, and
of course,
they're all bids. They're pre-done, so whatever.
But that's a lot of people that'll be in there. I was there for 4th of July, and that place was slammed. I couldn't imagine what it would be like for the draft too. So
yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
It'll be crazy. It will be crazy. Well, I don't know. What else was I gonna mention? Oh, I didn't even put the picture up, but I want to shout out my Mariners because my mom, thank you, Mom, has been giving me updates every game.
Okay.
Not only have we won the most, we have won. We have the best record out of all MLB teams since April 7th. We have gone 19-7 since April 7th.
Okay.
Best record in the MLB.
That's
And
great.
we have now officially had after today's win against the A's, we have won 9 series straight. 9 series straight. Also, Cal Riley, he is tied for the most homers in MLB history. I got to give another shout out because when I was in Seattle, my boy Hoa hooked up the bobbleheads.
Oh, cool.
Got the big dumper here.
Very good.
Yeah. So adding those to the collection, of course.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, good.
Yeah, and then also got to go to the Sounders game with my boy Jabari. Hoa gave us a couple tickets. I saw 2 NBA games.
Yes, you did.
Two hockey games in 2 different cities.
Right.
I saw a MLS game in Seattle. I also went to the Huskies Dogs in the Dark, After Dark. Sorry. This is a spring game for UW. Got to see all my boys and my people back from college, which was great. Had a good time, and then came back here and had the preseason game. So I've literally made a full circle. I'm tired.
Full circle of all the sports covering it. Great job.
I was just mad that the Mariners weren't in Seattle when I was there.
That would have been the trifecta for you. That would have been the trifecta.
That would have been the trifecta.
Very good.
Before we get out of here, I do want to talk about some girl power because there is a lot of girl power to talk about.
Let's go for it.
Seattle's now going to have an official professional women's hockey league team there, which is dope. We don't get that here. Hopefully, maybe one day Vegas could have one since they have such a big hockey following. But shout out to the PWHL will officially be in Seattle. So I got to give a shout out for that. I'd post this in the group today. Mia Scott from Texas. They played Kentucky yesterday or Monday, and she played all 9 positions. She did pitcher, catcher, first, second, third, short, left, center field. I'm sorry, but there's not even men in this in a collegiate level that could do all that.
Right.
And half of it was just doing, and she batted from both sides of the base. She was just having fun. They were up 12-3. She was like, let me just listen. Have at it, girl.
Shout out to her.
Have at it.
Shout out to her. That is awesome.
Maybe we'll see her in the Athletes Unlimited softball.
Yeah, you never know. What can we do?
Now, remember Kim?
Kimmy, yeah.
And happy Asian American National Heritage Month as well. Kim, she was the first Asian American and woman of MLB general manager for the Miami Marlins. Well, she just got named the first the Athletes Unlimited commissioner for softball, for their softball.
Nice. Very good. Kim making things happen. That's awesome.
Can't make that happen. Yeah. Another big deal is the U.S. Women's National Rugby Team set a new attendance record in Kansas City on Friday with over 10,000 fans. 10,500 fans.
I love to see it.
The largest ever crowd for a U.S. women's rugby match.
Wow. That's very good. What can't we do? And the women are running things, man.
What can't she do? Speaking of what can't you do, we got to talk not just about Angel Reese's fit from the Met, but Angel Reese, period, just in 5 days of May, she went from homecoming game at LSU on the 1st. She played for the Sky, of course, playing at LSU for the homecoming game. 5-3, she had a birthday party for herself in Chicago. 5-5, she's at the Met Gala. Immediately after 5-6, played in Chicago on her birthday. She said that she had 4 hours of sleep from the Met Gala into practice before the game on Tuesday. Don't you wish you were 21, 23 again, had that
all that energy?
Remember when we could just like be up all night, go straight to work, not have to worry about nothing?
I felt Cardi B when they said why she looking that way at Met. There was some kind of controversy of her looking like she could have been higher. So she says, guys, I was tired. I had to do this, and this. And Cardi B is a mom as well. Like, I felt her on that. But to hear what Angel Reese just did in a 24-hour span to go and then play in a game.
And then played in the game?
Nah.
I'm sorry. I was hurting. I was hurting just being out all night.
Listen, we used to be able to do it. I just retired from that type of life recently, not too long ago.
Listen, I had a couple stints while I was gone where... Oh, also Minnesota, great cider town. When I tell you they had ciders on draft in every arena, every bar, there was cider. So I had got a little carried away with my cider intake on a couple of nights. The next day, I know Friday night we kicked it. Saturday I woke up, was like, I don't want to go anywhere until the hockey game starts. I'm done.
Right.
Like I'm laying here. I need to. I'll eat
You need your
food
super
and then
juice. You need your cider when you get to the game.
right. But I literally. I was just like, this is why I can't do that. Like, I'm not 20 something no more. We can't.
We all need naps. We all need to take a break. It takes me a day to recover from an evening out or whatever the adventure may be. I mean, it takes time.
It's tough in this world.
It's
I
tough.
tell you,
It's tough. As you
It's
get
tough.
older, in your 20s, yeah, rock on, girl. Rock on for those who can't, like myself.
Rock on.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, the game's about to come back on halftime. I think it's about to start. We're gonna have to wrap this up.
And we are wrapping it up.
Great show. I'm trying to see what these guys. I just don't want them to lose against Denver in this situation. I can't believe Joker.
I mean, they better not. This is like a 40-point lead, right?
Well, good. Then that's a blowout. That's what they needed because Joker had 41 points in game one, and that was just absurd. He is the Joker, so they needed to make
and that's what he is.
All
right, we appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're just catching the end, you can always watch the replay on Facebook. Go to our YouTube channel at Girl Chat Subs. It's Girl Chat Sports. Hit subscribe. Follow us on social media, and we'll catch you next time. We'll see you when we see you. Bye.
Next week.